dangling in the open air, 2,000 feet high. Still not enough. She even let go of one hand, trying to drop the phone just a little farther. Becky could barely breathe from the stress. Hunter was also running out of strength, but still, no signal. She had to climb back up. Then Becky had an idea. If the ground had signal, why not send the phone all the way down? Hunter agreed. She put the phone inside her shoe, then took off her bra and wrapped it around the phone like a cushion. They tossed the shoe down from 2,000 feet, hoping the bra would protect it from the fall. But they had no way of knowing if it survived, so they waited and waited. Hours passed. Still, no rescue. Clearly, the phone had been smashed on impact. Just when they were about to lose all hope, Hunter spotted someone at the bottom of the tower through the binoculars. The two girls got super excited and started shouting for help as loud as they could, but they were way too high up. The man below didn't hear a thing. Worse, he started walking away. Becky quickly took off her shoe and threw it down. It landed hard on the ground, but the man didn't notice. She threw the other one. This time, it hit a metal beam and made a loud noise. The man turned and looked around. He picked up the shoe, but strangely, he never looked up. After seeing no one around, he casually tossed the shoe aside and walked away. The girls were completely devastated. Becky grabbed the flare gun, ready to fire, but Hunter stopped her. The sun was too bright. A flare would be hard to see during the day. Then Hunter spotted an RV nearby. She guessed the man had come for camping and probably wouldn't leave too soon. Becky agreed to wait, and finally, night came. They aimed at the sky and fired the flare gun. The bright light lit up the night. Sure enough, the man noticed the flare. Through the binoculars, they saw him looking up at the tower. Hunter and Becky were overwhelmed with joy. They thought, finally, rescue was coming. Pull out the water bottle. She gulped down a huge mouthful, while Becky watched from above, swallowing hard. They had the backpack now, but how would Hunter get back up? She slowly stood up, steadying herself on the tower, trying to get as close to the rope as possible, then carefully reached out her right hand, but it was just out of reach. Then she had a bold idea. She stepped back, pulled out her selfie stick from the backpack, using it to hook the rope loop. She extended her arm, trying to hang the backpack on the rope loop, but it was too heavy. She tried again and again. Nothing worked. Just as she was about to give up, she finally managed to hook the bag onto the loop that gave her just enough length to grab it. Hunter crouched down, focused her eyes on the backpack, then jumped. She caught it mid-air. Becky gasped in shock from above, then quickly grabbed the rope and pulled with all her strength. Meanwhile, Hunter climbed fast, hand over hand, leg over leg. Soon, she was just below the top of the tower. Now she only needed to grab the last bit of ladder, and she'd be safe. But right at that moment, something went wrong. Hunter's arms gave out. She lost her grip and began to fall. It all happened so fast, Becky stood frozen in horror. She couldn't believe what she just saw. Tears poured down her face as she slowly leaned over the edge, ready to face the awful truth. But right as Hunter was falling, she managed to grab the rope at the last second. Her hands were torn and bleeding, so Becky had to pull her up alone. It felt almost impossible, but she quickly snapped out of it, used her legs to brace herself, and started pulling the rope with everything she had. With one final burst of strength, she hauled Hunter back to safety. The backpack came up too, the one with the water and the drone. Becky wasted no time. She pulled out the water bottle and chugged it down like her life depended. Pieces. Becky was frozen in shock. She couldn't believe what had just happened. She'd been so close. She saw the truck driver get out to check. If he saw the paper, they still had a chance. But the driver didn't notice the wrecked drone. He looked around, saw nothing, got back into his truck, and drove away. Becky broke down in tears. That was it. She had lost all hope, but things were about to get even worse. When she turned to look at Hunter, Hunter slowly turned her face toward her, revealing a bloody, rotting wound. Becky was overwhelmed with pain. Suddenly, the horrible truth hit her. Hunter had died when she fell onto the dish. She never survived that fall. Becky had been hallucinating the whole time. It was just the backpack she had pulled up, not Hunter. Since then, Becky had been completely alone on that tower, talking to a memory. She collapsed on the platform, completely unconscious under the burning sun. Suddenly, a hungry vulture flew down and pecked at her bloody thigh. But Becky quietly opened her eyes, locked her gaze on the bird and grabbed it by the neck. The vulture struggled violently, but Becky, starving and furious, managed to wrestle it down. Then, she started eating it raw. She didn't care. She only had one thought left: survive, no matter what. After eating, Becky untied the safety rope. She climbed down the remaining ladder section and clipped the rope to the lowest bar. Then she dropped the rest of the rope, grabbed it, and began sliding down, fast. This time there was no hesitation. Her moves were sharp and confident. She reached the end of the rope in no time, unclipped the lock, and jumped onto the dish. She looked at Hunter's decaying body and felt a flood of emotions, but what she did next was even more unbelievable. She typed a message to her dad, asking for help, even though there was still no signal. Then she took off Hunter's shoe, put the phone inside, and pushed it deep into Hunter's stomach through the wound. With everything in place, Becky gave the body one hard push and sent it falling 2,000 feet to the ground. With the flesh and shoe cushioning the fall, the phone would survive, and when it hit the ground, the signal would come back, and the message would be sent. Back home, her father James received the text. He called 911 right away and rushed to the tower. Becky was finally rescued. The moment Becky saw her dad, she ran straight into his arms and broke down sobbing.